Hey, welcome back to the video, guys. Nice to see you. We're looking at houses and the cost of, the bills in Thailand. I've been living in, not this house, this is our house that's very close to where we live. And this one here is 2.2 million baht. We're going to look at electricity bills in this house of this size, and water bill, and running costs of our car as well. Maybe we'll talk about just costs of our house. Same as our house, this one exactly the same, just a new build, guys, a new build. Right, let's get started. Have a look in the house to start with. It's a cool house. You can have a look inside, open up. So to show you the kind of size of house, like this, look. It's very, very similar to our house, to be honest. So quite open plan as you walk in. I'll take my shoes off because it's not my house. And yeah, big area. So we got aircon unit here. And this will be the kitchen area here, and say 2 different bedrooms, one here and one here. So we've got 3 aircon units in this house. I'll come out the house because it will be echoing quite a bit, I know. I've not got the microphone on today. So yeah, these houses will have something like 3 aircon units in, one in the main area and then one in each bedroom. That's what we've got in our house. And this is a good setup, I think. And that, our bill is usually about 1,500 to 2,000 baht per month. But there's a big reason why it's that cheap. And I'll tell you now, its main reason is we bought all the different aircon units from somewhere where they have inverters on. So our aircon units have got inverters on, which saves you electricity. They're more expensive, but they save electricity. Our fridge has got inverters on, and our washing machine has got inverters on. So this is a great way to save money. Yes, the aircon units, the fridge, the washing machine, they're going to be more expensive to start with, but in the long run, they're going to save you money, guys. So it's kind of worth it if you're buying a new build like we did about 4 years ago now. 3 or 4 years we've been, not this house, but the other house over there, because this is empty, so it's kind of nicer to show, and our house is a bit dirty, and my missus said don't film in here, I need to clean up first. So yeah, so that's why I'm showing you this one here, opposite, no, not opposite, it's a little bit down the road a little bit, but very, very pretty much the same kind of house. Water bills in these houses, a water bill is never anything more than about 50 to 100 baht per month. It's very, very cheap. They're just bills in Thailand, utility bills are just dirt cheap. It's ridiculous. You can save yourself so much money living in a place like this, over in Thailand. This is out in the countryside. We live over in Samut Songkhram at the moment, so about an hour away from Hua Hin. I know some of you know Hua Hin very, very well, and you're thinking about retiring in that area. But you can get houses like this, out of Hua Hin, maybe, half an hour to an hour outside, maybe a bit nearer, just depends how good your looking skills are to find somewhere like this. Here's one that's just been, half built. It's another one that's like not quite built yet, so they're still building this one here. This is near our house too. I said this complex, we moved in about 3 years ago, and they're still building on this complex, so there's a bit of noise still, sometimes building noise, but I say in the countryside they kind of sell the houses a bit slower than they would do in the city. I remember we bought a house in Don Mueang, and the complex was built, huge complex in Don Mueang near the airport, and we bought a house there. It was a complete building site about 8 years ago, and then suddenly poof, it was like within a year the whole complex was built, massive, 200-300 houses, more maybe, or 400 houses, and all the houses were sold out within a year or 15 months max. It was crazy. And now them houses are very much in demand in that area. I've just come back to sit down, guys. It was a bit hot out there. Well, it's pretty hot here, to be honest. And the rain stopped, thank God. It's a standard kind of fee for the electricity. Now, interesting fact is that some of the apartments are not like that, and the electricity bill can be higher. They charge more and make money on it. So this is something to think about with apartments and some condos. You need to kind of check this. Generally condos and houses are okay, but apartments are a bit, you've got to be careful with them. You've got to check how much they're charging you for the electricity per month. It's a bit of a sneaky way how they can make a little bit more money sometimes, so be careful of this, guys. If you're coming to Thailand to retire, I would personally, go, it's okay, apartments are fine, but just check how much they're charging per, you know, whatever unit, how much they're charging for the electricity, guys, you know, so you don't get stung with a bill. Because sometimes, you know, I remember I stayed in an apartment years and years and years ago, and the rent was dirt cheap. It was like 3,500 baht per month, but the electricity was like 3,500 baht per month. It was like ridiculous. It was, you know, I was so overcharged at that time. This is like 15 odd years ago when I first came to Thailand. You know, I was kind of ripped off, you know, and someone's making money somewhere on me there. Yeah, the apartment's cheap, so it kind of balances out a little bit, but it was only a cheapo 1-bedroom apartment, you know, quite low kind of standard as well, because the first time I was in Thailand. So this is something just to watch out for. I don't think it'll affect many of you guys, because most of you are in decent condos and houses when you come over to Thailand, or you're buying your own place. Now, it's not always the option to get this inverters. You know, you're not always going to buy your own equipment. You know, a lot of houses have got aircon in already, but it's something you can check. You know, some houses, you know, or pool villas, you know, they already have inverters, decent aircons in, and the best aircons in Thailand is like Mitsubishi and Panasonic. They're like, I think, two of the best aircon units. Like, we put Mitsubishi now in everywhere because they seem to last longer and they seem to be better. They break down less, they're more efficient, and I think they're known as the best one to buy in Thailand. Are they more expensive? Absolutely, but you get what you pay for, guys. You can buy a cheapo unit and it'll probably break in a few years, to be honest with you. So, and some of the aircon units can be quite expensive. I mean, you know, you've got to get the right size of unit as well. Sometimes people have put too small a unit in, and then the aircon unit's working like a monster to try and keep the room cold, and then it's working like crazily hard. It'll break quicker, it'll use more electricity, and then some people want it ridiculously cold. Some people want it at 16 degrees all the time, which is crazy. I mean, this will cost a lot more money if you're trying to get your house down to this temperature in Thailand. I mean, God, that's blooming cold for over here. I mean, we have our aircon on at night for like 22, 23 degrees at night, and my missus still moans at me it's too cold, and I'm like, that's okay for me now. I've been here a long time, you know, to me now that's quite cool. So some of you guys, you'll want it a lot lower, especially when you first come here. You'll probably want it at 16, 18 degrees. And then obviously you're going to use more electricity than I will in this house. So there's something to think about, guys, when you come over here, you know, God, the sun's shining right in my eye there, guys. There's something to think about when you come to Thailand, you know, how much your bills will be. You know, maybe it's not going to be the same as me here. I think we've got a good setup here where our electricity bill is quite low, and I live with a Thai. Remember this, it makes a big difference. You know, sometimes I put the aircon on, she shouts at me and says, turn it off. You know, so, and I've lived here a long time, so I'm more adapted to the heat. For you, a lot of you guys who are coming here for the first time, you're coming here to live as a retiree, I think you need to take my bill here, for example, you know, let's say 2,000 baht a month, and add some on. You know, I don't think it's going to be that cheap for you, because you're going to have your aircon on a lot more for sure. You're definitely not going to have it on 22, 23 degrees. That's going to be probably too warm for you to sleep at night. So you're going to want it on 16, 17, 18 degrees at night, which is going to cost more money. And, you know, I think you will be in the aircon a lot more because you're retired. So we are, you know, we live here, but we're out at work. We're doing things all the time in the daytime. Kids are out at school. You know, the house is, I don't want to say left, but, you know, in the daytime, like a working family, you know, no one's here in the daytime, so we're not using electricity like you guys will. You guys are coming over here, you're retired. Some days you're not going to go out. You're going to stay at home for sure. You know, you don't go out every single day. So some days you're chilling at home, and then you're going to want the aircon on quite a lot in the daytime. So your bill's going to be higher because of this reason, guys. So this is another factor to kind of think about. Just do us a favor, guys. Just press the subscribe button. Really helps the channel. Thanks. And back to the video. I also said at the start we'll talk about the car. I mean, I've got a truck, Hilux. I'm going to do this on another video, but I'll just stick it in this video as well. You know, running cars in Thailand is quite cheap, to be honest. You know, the diesel is very, very good value in Thailand. You know, it is very cheap. We fill up the tank of the truck here. I've got a Hilux 2.4. God, I love that thing. It's the best thing I've ever brought in Thailand after my wife. No, I'm joking. I didn't buy my wife. No, so hang on, got off track. So yeah, the 2.4 Hilux diesel I run in Thailand. You know, it's about 2,200 baht to fill it full, and I can do 1,000 kilometers on that kind of normal driving, you know. So yeah, I think it's great value, you know. I don't feel like I'm spending that much on fuel. To some of you guys around the world, that'll be very, very cheap. To others, maybe not. You know, in America and Australia particularly, I think the fuel's quite cheap over there. But, you know, it depends where you live, and that will relate to you. You know, insurance and that, we've just paid insurance on the truck, and it was 20,000 baht for insurance and tax for the year. This is a 6-year-old truck. So I think that's not too bad value, guys. And obviously one great thing you can do in Thailand that I never did in the West is you can take your car to car care, which is dirt cheap. You know, you can pay 300-400 baht, even cheaper some places. They clean your car inside and out, comes back looking perfect. You can wait there, they normally have coffee, a biscuit, wait an hour or two, and they've done it. Go pick it up and it's like a brand new car. It's absolutely superb. That's one thing I love about this country, the car care. You know, no one really cleans their own car in Thailand, only if you want to for fun. I mean, sometimes we clean it just for fun, like at home for the lads, you know, or we just can't be bothered to take it out. We'll just give it a quick rinse off here. So this is a good thing, I think, as well. So there are a few of the costs, you know, in our house, electricity, water, and some of the costs on our car as well, guys. Hope that helps you out and gives you a bit of advice if you're thinking about coming over here to Thailand to retire. And I'll see you on the next video, guys. Take it easy.